Long ago, I went to visit a friend who lived up north, and I don't live up north. I live in a rather warm, tropical climate most of the year, at least. And when I went up there, it was Christmas time. When I went up there, I didn't have cold weather clothes, and I wasn't going to be there long enough to invest in some that I might never wear again. And so the people I visited gave me some of their own coats and whatnot to wear. One of these people decided to take me to a sporting goods place to buy a hat that would be appropriate to wear up there in the cold and the snow. And I innocently went along believing that that person was a resource. I mean, she lived there her whole life. And I made that assumption. And so I came home with this hat. Well, this is not at all a reasonable hat to wear in the snow. For one thing, the snow collects up in here. It's like I could have built a snowman on top of my head if I had wanted to. No sooner had I gotten home with my new hat purchase and worn it out in public, trying to appear as if I were a local person, it was profoundly and perhaps embarrassingly apparent that I was wearing the wrong hat. But it was my hat, and so the only choice I had was to wear it intentionally, as if this is the way I wanted to present myself, and any inconveniences with accumulation of snow or whatever were just all part of the dynamic that I had chosen for myself. No, it wasn't a mistake. It was simply a decision, perhaps an eccentric one, but one that I had made. Now I'm wondering about this. Why didn't I just go back and say, hey, this hat isn't working and I need to have a new hat or borrow one? But I didn't. And I have a feeling this is how I live my life in many ways. I now have this hat to remind me of it, and I can tell you what, I almost wear it down here not at all because it's too hot, and frankly, it's a little funky looking, even for a waif. But from time to time, when I want to really intentionally look profoundly waifish, I might put it on and go out in public in it, as long as it's not too warm. So that's my sad story of making bad decisions. No, no one was injured. There were no terrible repercussions from it. But again, it's kind of how decisions are made. Who do I think is the resource? Who do I believe? What do I do when I believe that I have made kind of a bizarre decision? Do I become the resource? Do I present as if I'm a resource? And if so, what am I? The resource of poor decision making? That sounds almost like I've become my own grade school teacher telling me that when I made this letter of H or G or whatever, I didn't make it quite right. And I can tell you what, I never really learned to make all my letters all that right, and I'm okay. So now I'm beginning to ramble all over the place, which is a bad decision.